Hi, here's a quick video to show how you can do time tracking using automation rules in Fibery. I have an app set up here with three types: project, task, and time log. Project is made up of multiple tasks, and a task can have one or more time logs associated with it. Now, a time log has a start time and an end time and is related to a user as well as a task. So this indicates the period of time when this user was working on this task. And there's a formula field to calculate the duration based on the end time minus the start time. Now we use a field within task called currently working. This is a field, a relationship to users, and this allows us to identify who is actively working on a task at any one time. And in order to do the automation, we need to add rules in the user type. Now, adding rules in the user type is something that requires admin privileges, not just creator level privileges for the app. So I'm going to go to editing the type for the user type, and I'm going to add a rule. I'm going to call my first rule start. The purpose of this rule is to recognize when a user is currently working on something. So we're going to check for currently working on being updated, and we're going to check that it's not empty, so they are working on a task. Now we need to start a log for the task they're working on, but we also need to stop any logs for any previous tasks they were working on. So first things first, we update any logs where end time is empty, meaning it's a time log that's currently in progress, and we set the end time to the current time now. And then we have another action, which is to create a new time log. And in this case, the start time will use the current time. And the task for this time log will be the task that the user has just started working on. We also need a stop rule. And this is a rule that applies in the case when the user is no longer working on any tasks. So in this case, currently working on, we'll add a filter that it is empty. And in this case, we need to do the same thing of closing any tasks, but we don't need to start any new ones. So we're looking for tasks where the end time is empty, and we will set the end time to now. With those two rules in place, you'll be able to look at your projects and see tasks. And within each task, there's a log here already. Chris Gibbs was working on this task on October the 4th from 12 till 5, 300 minutes. I go to the task, and now I choose currently working on it, Dave colleague. This indicates that my colleague Dave has started working on the task. And then you can see a new time log has just been created by the automation rule. For this time log, we have a start time, but we don't have an end time. But if we go to the task and we unlink my colleague, then that time log will be updated with an end time. And in this case, it was less than a minute spent on it, so it's 0. And you can also approach it from the other side. So you can, for example, each user can say, I'm currently working on task 1. And by doing so, that will again create a new task log for the task you're working on. And just to prove it, here's the start time. And if I remove myself from task 1, that new time log will now have an end time and a duration. And of course, you can now do roll-ups. So this is a formula field which calculates the total amount of time based on all the time logs for that task. And the project can even have a total time worked, which is a formula that adds up all the time for all the tasks in that project. Anyway, I hope that's somewhat useful, and if you want more details, don't hesitate to get in touch.